Hello, so we are learning about integers, positive and negative numbers. And so we have some word clues and some integers vocabulary. Let's start with the vocabulary. An integer, those are whole numbers and their opposites. Whole numbers and their opposites. A negative number, a number less than zero. Opposites, we just had that in our integers vocabulary. So opposites, those are numbers that are in opposite positions on the number line. For example, 6 is the opposite of -6. All right. Or +2 is the opposite of -2. A positive number is a number greater than 0. And 0 separates the positives and the negatives. So now that we know that, let's talk about some integers word clues, some positive clues. Earned, gained, deposited, saved, won, increased, climbed, ascended, that's a fancy word for going up, and the actual word up. Now let's talk about some negative clues. Spent, cost, withdrawal, and withdrawal may be a new word for you. You may not have heard someone talk about they withdrew something. Well, that means you have some money in an account and you take some of it out. All right. Below, loss, decreased, fell, descended, which is a fancy word for down. All right. So now let's talk about some integers in real life. We have our positive integer situations. For example, a deposit of $100. So deposit means I'm putting into an account. I'm going to add some money to it. So that's a positive integer situation. A gain of 22 pounds. Now, you may not be happy you gained it, but it's a positive number. You're adding on 22 pounds. An addition of 3 kids. I know that if all of a sudden I had an addition of 3 kids, I might not be too thrilled, but it could be a cool situation. I can have an addition of 3 kids in my Nerf battle. All right, and last but not least, an increase of 193 applicants. All right, so these are all positive integers situations. Now, let's talk about some negative integer situations. A withdrawal of $250. So I'm taking out $250. A decrease of 11 coins. 29 feet below sea level. So sea level is 0. Like, we're not going up, we're not going down. It's just sea level is 0. So if I go 29 feet below, that's a negative integer situation. And then a loss of 6 yards. So I just want to remind you, or I want to share with you, that just because it's a negative integer situation, it does not mean that it's something negative as in bad. And just because it's a positive situation, it does not mean that it's good. All right. So it's just saying that we're adding or we are subtracting from it. All right, guys, I hope that helped.